Welcome to episode 2 of the Eat Sleep Game podcast. My name is Luke and I am back with Jake once again. How are you doing, Jake?
Yeah, I'm all good, dude. I am all good. What about you? How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Tired, quite tired, but I got a day off tomorrow, so
I'm
looking
me
forward
too.
to that.
Me too.
Good. We can simultaneously not do a lot.
Oh, mate, I got
like
a
I
brand
need
new
that.
bike. I'm taking that,
Oh, yeah, nice.
I don't know where to go, actually. I've been thinking about it, because I did Western Supermare,
Jesus, nice.
Portishead, and I've done Bath lately. So, yeah, I might go on the other side of the river. Or Cheddar, oi.
Yeah, I know. I knew a guy that used to cycle down to Cheddar. I'm like, you cycled to Cheddar?
Well, that's not
Man.
too far. I think, actually, if I stuck to the roads, that would be a bit of a less distance.
I think, like, in actual practice, it's not as far as my head thinks it is, but
Yeah.
my head's like, that's a long way. I don't want to cycle 10 minutes, let alone however long that would take.
And there's your big first segue from from what's going on. Cycling.
Tangent, mate, tangent. No, it's a good way to open. We open with how we are doing. Have you been playing much at all? Have you got any chance to play stuff this week?
Not particularly. It's another just really heavy week of work, to be totally honest, because you know, stuff and things. People have holidays always at the end of the financial year. You always wind up working more, which is good for my bank account.
For sure.
Which means I'm edging ever closer to getting my hands on some newer games. But yeah, otherwise just work and cycling. So it's been my life.
I mean, that sounds more healthy than mine, which is work and kind of just sitting around tired mostly. I'm in a similar spot where I've just my shifts have been moved around a bit because same as you, I got loads of people on holiday, so I'm quite tired from that. But I've managed to play a little bit of Mario plus Rabbids, the nice. XCOM style game. It's really fun, really fun, and it I played a bit of XCOM and it didn't quite stick, but I think Mario is sticking because there is constant progression. You are moving forward all the time rather than in a select little map and then you go out back to a base. Here you just you go into a battle, you do the battle, and then you move on. You are going forward sort of thing.
See,
and you're constantly unlocking things.
I really thought I'd like XCOM. I felt like it was the sort of game that I would like. But yeah, there's another weird one where I started it up. This is the second one I played. I never actually played the first one, and yeah, just sort of fell off pretty much straight away. Just wasn't there.
Yeah, I played it recently for another show we're doing for on the Game for All podcast. And fundamentally I like it. I like the mechanics and stuff like that, but it just didn't click with me. Really, in a way, especially that Mario plus Rabbids has.
Yeah.
So I didn't really stick with it, even though I want to.
Well, you know what appealed to me about it was the sort of base building element of it. You go back to your ship and you can expand it and that. Because I got heavily addicted to Fallout on your phone. I can't remember what that was called. Yeah, Fallout Shelter. Yeah, and it looked a hell of a lot like that, but. Actually, I never even got that far in the game, really, to even start doing that.
No, I mean, I got a little bit into that side of stuff, but they kind of just throw you in the deep end. They don't do it one at a time sort of thing. They're like, here's this. It's like, dude, just one thing. Come on, one thing at a time.
I see. So it literally does just throw you to it. So does the Mario one, does that have a base building element to it as well? Or?
I don't think so. Not anything that I've seen so far, but it is you're kind of I'm not even the Rabbids have this weird washing machine that time travels or dimension hops or something, and it dimension hops into the Mario kingdom, and then it's fucking with things. So stuff Rabbids are merging with I think one was a paintbrush, and then they fire paint at you, and you gotta go through, beat all them, so they evaporate or disintegrate up back into the portal and start turning back to normal sort of thing. And you gotta eventually, I think the end game is getting to the guy who has the goggles on, which pairs things together and transforms stuff. It's really weird, but like
classic.
I genuinely thought I was going to hate it because I can't stand Rabbids because they are just video game minions, and they're annoying.
They literally are.
But there's something weirdly endearing about these ones. I don't like, one is literally dressed up as Peach, and she's like a proper like valley girl. She's taking selfies all the time. She gets moody when Peach is wearing the same sort of dress as her. Like, it's really stupid, but it's the best the Rabbids have ever been.
Yeah.
And the most endearing they've ever been.
It's like that acceptable level of stupid.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is what you expect from Nintendo anyway, to be totally honest.
Nintendo didn't make it. It's Ubisoft.
Oh, wait, Ubisoft?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the Rabbids is a Rayman thing.
Yes, of course it is. Okay, so I was sitting there trying to think where they came from. But there you go. Now we know.
We do indeed. It's been a bit quiet this week in the world of gaming, apart from the last 2 days. Yesterday we had the PlayStation State of Play, which we'll get into at the end, and today we've got there's a Pokemon event thing that's happening that's announced some games, but I haven't
what is it, like their 35th anniversary?
I think 25th, but yeah,
25th, 35th. I sort of say, yeah. How old am I? Yeah, it's got to be 25th because I'm not 38. I'm 28. Yeah, yeah. You're 100% right there, mate.
I mean, I'm guessing I'm not 100% sure myself, to be fair, but I don't know. Are you much into Pokemon? It's not something I really.
Yeah, I know, right? I got addicted to Pokemon Go for a little while.
I mean, yeah, who didn't?
Just because it's a casual game you can play, and you just flick a ball and catch Pokemon and rename it something stupid. But yeah, it's just something easy to do. You'd be sitting on a bus or whatever, and you don't really have to think about anything that's going on with it. I did get pretty heavily addicted to that, but as soon as it was done, it's done, sort of thing. Naturally, loved the games as a kid. Pikachu is a fantastic character in Smash. It's not. I hate Pikachu in Smash, but he's there. He's an annoying character. If you want to annoy people, you play. Pikachu.
You could just spam the shock moves, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. And then no one could come near you. But yeah, bar that, like Pokemon's Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, I was never hugely into it. Like I've dabbled here and there. I think especially after like it started getting stupid. After a point, I was like, do we really need 100 new Pokemon every year? Can't we just have like 5?
I'll tell you what I do wish about Pokemon. I wish that I'd really been into it as a kid and had been collecting Pokemon cards just based on how much they're worth these days.
Oh, I did. I wish I still had mine.
Boy.
I only did the first gen. I wish I still had those.
So I fell into Yu-Gi-Oh! Over Pokemon, so...
Oh, I wanted to, but I didn't know enough people in my school that were into Yu-Gi-Oh! To trade with people, so it just never came about. I loved the TV show, though. I liked the Pokemon TV show as well, to be fair. They were both good.
Yeah,
what about Digimon?
Digimon? Do you know what? Do you remember the Digimon game on PlayStation 1?
No, I didn't play the game. I only watched the TV show.
Oh my god, no, mate, that game was fantastic. Go and crack yourself a version of it, because it is really, really good game. I mean, it's terrible, but it's great. And no matter what, if you ever do play it, no matter what, at some point you will wind up with a slug, and you will be so disappointed because you had your favorite Digimon and it's now a slug.
Oh, right.
It's a thing. It just happens. If you don't look after them properly, they like die. As far as my memory goes, anyway.
Sure.
And when they die, obviously you can't be in the world without a Digimon because there's no point in playing the game. So you go through and you get another one, and 9 times out of 10 you'd wind up with this stupid little slug thing, and it used to drive me insane. I really hated that slug. So much so I'm 28 years old, and even just mentioning it actually still brings a little bit of rage into me.
I was going to say, it seems pretty vivid in your memory. It seems,
the slug
seems fresh.
How you wind up with the slug, no, in fact, it's not when they die, because they digivolve. That's what it's called, in it, rather than evolving, digivolve, yeah?
Yeah.
And it didn't really work like it would have in the show, where the one dude always becomes the bigger version of the one dude that he is. Yeah. In this, they would change and stay like that. It's something like this. My memory's real hazy on this, but it could turn into a damn slug. You'd have like
the evolution could just go sideways, and
you'd have this awesome like dragon-like thing, and then the next minute you got a slug because you didn't look after it properly. I guess that's more telling of me than anything else, isn't it?
I mean, at the very least, I think the TV show was better than Pokemon. I think Digimon was just, I don't know, it seemed a bit edgier. It seemed a bit cooler when I was young.
It maybe appealed more to a Western audience, but obviously Japan was, is, and always will be Pokemon. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. Maybe we could. I just want like a. I know one of the things they've announced is like an open world game, but I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet. But like
that would
a
be
proper open world Pokemon game would be cool.
Yeah, that would genuinely.
Especially if it was just like maybe Gen 1 to Gen 3, and have like some of the better Pokemon. I don't need that stupid one that's just a pair of keys.
I guess it'd be a bit like Monster Hunter, wouldn't it? If it was in a massive open world, except
I guess so.
You just fight back with Pokemon. Maybe I'm over imagining what it could be like here.
I mean, I think that's what everybody hopes it's going to be. Just like a child-friendly version of Monster Hunter. No blood, no slashing, stuff like that. It would just be Pokemon fighting each other. It could be cool, but
it could even go Breath of the Wild. Like that would also be. I mean, I've still not played the game, but I've seen enough of it at this stage of my life to feel like I've played the game, so I feel like I can weigh in a little bit. And even that'd be pretty cool. I guess. But I don't know how much it would actually appeal to me. So in the end,
I kind of have a passing interest. I feel like it'd be one of those that maybe I'd pick up in a sale of some kind, but it being Nintendo, it'll probably never go on sale.
Yeah.
So
mind, I did try and play the classic one again a while ago, just to kill time.
I did as well, yeah.
Yeah, as you say,
same.
Not had a lot to do lately, and I mean, needless to say, that stopped after about 1 million hours of playing it.
Yeah, I can't even remember how far I got, but I got some time in. That was ages ago. That was maybe like a year ago now, though.
Yeah, I want to say it was about a year ago.
I've got like old, like proper original, like Game Boy and Game Boy Color that I was playing it on, which is
so
nice.
Oddly enough, I've still got the cartridges, but I don't have the consoles.
I picked mine up at retro game stores.
Yeah. Oh, there's not so many of them about anymore, actually. So one thing I'm a little bit worried there is that there's one sort of like not too far away from the city centre near where we live, and I'm just wondering whether that's actually going to come back when everything reopens. Yeah, I really hope so. Even for like the local communities, because they do the they run card game things in there, and they do old Smash tournaments and that in there as well, which I would be super interested in doing, but I feel like at 28 years old, it's not for me.
Oh, it absolutely is. Pokemon is for everybody.
Well, not when everyone else in there is like 15 years old,
Yeah, it's like turning up to that nightclub you haven't been to in a couple of years, and it turns out everybody's like 12.
Yeah, exactly. Like you feel like you belong, and you're like, I can play Smash Bros, and you're like, no, well, you guys are a little bit on the.
You're just getting demolished by an 8-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's also that factor, isn't there? Like, my pride would just be destroyed.
Oh, don't worry, I don't have any of that. That was gone ages ago, mate. Don't worry. Like I said, there's not too much news, but I think we'll get into a little bit. It's very PlayStation heavy this week. like very PlayStation heavy. Like we will kick things off. PlayStation kind of announced that there is a new PlayStation VR headset coming. We don't know when, but they have confirmed it is going to be like a PS5. They didn't call it PSVR 2. They just said like a PS5 VR headset, and it's gonna have a dedicated controller that will use some of the features from the PS5's DualSense controller, which is really cool because the Move controllers kind of suck. And it kind of takes you out of it a bit when you're sat there with a VR headset and holding a controller.
Yeah.
So dedicated controllers would be nice. The only thing they've really said other than the DualSense stuff is that it's definitely not coming out this year. It sounds like it's still very, very early in development. I'm really happy about this because I love VR. I think VR is really, really cool. And I think we've only just started seeing people kind of taking it seriously with like Half-Life Alyx, especially. That was the first game that's come out and been like critically well received. You played with my VR headset a little bit. What you a fan of VR?
Yeah, I've played a bit of like VR here and there, and you know, there's obviously massive potential for VR. Yeah. If, like you say, people start to take it a bit more seriously. And you know, it's fun to play like little party games. Like, you know, the way we played it was just round my flat. Pre-COVID, round my flat.
Yeah, that was years ago.
yeah, it was, weren't it? And yeah, just sort of like experimenting with the games you had there. I mean, playing Tetris in VR was definitely an interesting experience. Yeah. But I mean, some of the games have always looked fairly interesting. And one thing I've actually experienced, which is not fun at all, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is VR chat. Potentially one of the most toxic places I've ever entered into.
It's like a physical embodiment of the internet, or like the darkest pits of the internet.
I think it's actually worse than that though, because I've always known the internet's a pretty dark place to be. Yeah, you know, we just sort of come from that generation, don't we? Where yeah, we won't go too much into that because I could go on a lifelong tangent on that. But it's just abhorrent, man. Like you'll go into one room and it'll be nice and chill, and you go into another room and then all of a sudden you're in some super weird scenario without going into too much. Lots of racism, put it that way. It's not cool.
Yeah, I thankfully haven't played around in that because mostly it's been PlayStation VR, but I do have a Oculus, whatever the wireless one's called, I forget. Quest, Oculus Quest. I think there's I think you're right. There are a lot of interesting games on there. There is stuff like Astro's Playroom, not Playroom, sorry, Astro Bot Rescue Mission, or there's another one that looks Moss. I think is it called Moss? I think it's called Moss. It looks like a storybook. It's really, really cool.
That sounds interesting just from you saying that. It looks like a storybook. Yeah.
When we can actually hang out properly, I'll have to bring my Quest with me at some point because Moss is so cool. It's like you're in a storybook but watching it as a play sort of thing. It's really, really cool.
So yeah,
and you can get up and move around the environment.
Super interesting.
Really, really cool. One I really want to try is a co-op game called Keep Talking and No One Explodes. I think it's called.
So that's I didn't realize they turned it into a VR thing because that that's a thing that's been around for a while, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know what other, because it came to my attention as a VR thing. Yeah. So like you could download a full like user manual, and then you got to talk someone through disarming a bomb, and it looks funny as hell.
Yeah, maybe it was originally a VR thing, but I remember playing it around my friend's house, just like through Steam on PC. Oh no, yeah. Oh, okay. So I would have been at home actually. So I had the manual, and he had the bomb. And
I mean, you can. I think you could definitely play it not VR because it's on like Nintendo Switch and Android.
Yeah.
So it probably does just work on multiplayer sort of thing. But doing it in the same room, I think, is it'd be just way funnier because you could fuck with someone straight right there, or you could just judge their reactions and stuff.
Yeah.
I like anything. It's like split screen used to be. It used to just be funny when everything just goes wrong.
Oh yeah. It's like we were saying last time. Like I really do miss that like human element of playing games, rather than you know you're just playing over the internet, and everyone might as well be a robot for what it's worth because you don't really wind up talking to too many people. Yeah.
I'm pretty bad on. I even if I play online, I don't talk to people.
No.
Anyway, I don't.
No.
It's not my thing. I like a lot of people I know have made like really good friends. Like the Game for All podcast, for instance, Sean is not someone I definitely don't know personally.
Yeah.
I've met him through doing the podcast, and I think Jordan met him through like a fan page for one of the other for another podcast or the Kind of Funny community.
Yeah.
And you know, you can meet loads of people through that, but it's just, I don't know, I've never been that guy. Yeah. It's never been something I've been ingrained in. So I tend to lose interest in one specific thing, or like float around a bit more. So I'm never fully ingrained into one place.
Oh yeah, it's kind of hard to just stay on one game for a massive amount of time. Like I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. So PlayStation will have a new VR headset sometime in the future, which I'm looking forward to. It needs to be wireless, I think.
I think they should call it PS5 VR instead of PSVR 2, because that would then imply you can use it on PS4.
Yeah.
PS5 VR makes it very clear this is a different thing.
Yeah, I mean they kind of wanted it to be, when they released the original PSVR, they said it was like the PS1. It was a separate dedicated thing. It was the first generation of like a PlayStation VR. So
yeah,
I'd imagine it will just be called PSVR 2.
Yeah,
probably. But PS5 VR would also work.
Yeah.
I think you're right having that distinction. But to be fair, I think by the time it does come out, we're probably looking at 2, maybe 3 years. So PS5 is probably going to be far more integrated.
Yeah,
so it might not be as much of an issue.
You'd hope by that point, but
you would hope.
There's always potential.
Yeah, unfortunately. Like I said, very heavy on PlayStation. So sticking with PlayStation, Sony have announced that PlayStation Play at Home returns. So this is an incentive they brought in last year when COVID started really hitting the fan, and they started giving away free, I say content because it's not just games they give away. They give away like deals on Crunchyroll, for instance, because they bought Funimation, so you can get.
Wait! Sony bought Funimation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not too long ago, I don't think it was.
Oh, that's
but that's one of the things that was highlighted here. I don't think it goes free. I think it is just a cheaper subscription.
Yeah.
But the first thing announced is that Ratchet and Clank will be a free game from March 1st. Ratchet and Clank's a great game. Yeah, I think we talked about it last week a bit.
Yeah.
It's so good. Such a pretty looking game as well. It was one of the games that really showed off what the PS4 could do. Especially ignoring the movie side of stuff. It was such an incredible game. I highly recommend. Because you don't even need PlayStation Plus to download this from the seams of it. I haven't dug too deep into it because I already own Ratchet and Clank, but this is just a completely free game because people are stuck at home. They're going to be running this for about 4 months or so, and there's going to be more free content and free games, as well as like deals and discounts and stuff like that.
Okay,
I think this is really cool.
So do you need to be pay the online subscription fee to have access to that, or is it?
Not from what I've read. I will just double check really quick. but from what I saw, it is just completely free.
Yeah, you just log in and you're like, yo, give me my game.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers, Sony, for buying Funimation and giving me a game. I'm not even upset about that, to be honest, because it just means that Funimation gets to keep being Funimation.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know who they are is because they dubbed the Dragon Ball Z. So.
I was really tempted to sign back up to Funimation, but I didn't in the end. I don't think you need to sign up. I think it is properly free.
Well, I will keep my eyes open for that and have some.
I highly recommend it because Ratchet and Clank is such a fun game. So much fun to play. To be honest,
I think I've got access to it anyway because I'm currently paying for that streaming game service.
PlayStation.
It's all got such weird names. Yeah. I think it's PlayStation Plus. It's something like that. There's a lot of stuff on there. There's a hell of a lot of stuff on there. Like
there is.
Obviously, the only problem is only some of them you can download. The majority of it you're streaming.
I use it on my PC, and like playing Bloodborne on my PC was great.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that we could do that.
Yeah, it is fully streamed though. I don't think you could download anything from the PC one.
Yeah. I mean that.
But I'm really hoping.
No, but what
eventually
I mean is
they go a bit Game Passy and just go full into that.
That's a potential for me to play Demon Souls. Right. One day. I'm not saying right now.
One day, maybe. Yeah. One day, maybe.
Let me have my hopes and dreams.
Well, I mean, that actually ties in. Very, very well done there. That's a fantastic segue.
Hey, well done me. Hey.
We're going to skip over number 3 because we'll come back to that.
Yeah, fair.
Not that big. But you wanted to play Demon Souls on your PC. You might not need PlayStation now to do that in the future because PlayStation are bringing a whole slate of games to PC, which starts... I mean, it already started. They did Horizon and Death Stranding already on PC. But from this spring, Days Gone is coming to PC, and they've said that, like I said, a whole slate of games is going to start coming to PC. So maybe you could get Demon Souls on PC in the near future.
Maybe. I really do hope so.
I've wanted this to happen for ages because I genuinely do not want a PlayStation 5. I just want everything to be on PC.
Yeah.
So I could just play it in one place.
It's weird, actually. Like, when I was younger and I was an Xbox 360 kid and... some of my mates were like, oh yeah, but PC's better, And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't care. I've got my Xbox 360. But then as soon as you actually do get a PC that can play games on it and has been successfully doing that for the past 4 to 5 years without you needing to update. I've not updated my computer at all since I've made it, and I can still play like brand new releases on their higher settings. Probably not on their max settings anymore for brand new games, but certainly on the like properly high end of it. Yeah, PC, man. Just Sony, man, give up on your console and maybe help just innovate on PCs and just do everything on computer. You can have your own little thing. You don't need to use Steam. You could call it.
I mean, that's where they're going. Steam seems to be where they're going to keep putting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense to go Steam. Like, virtually everyone who plays games on their computer has Steam. And stay away from EA. No Origin.
As the Origin's a pain. Like I said, I've wanted them to do this for ages. I've wanted PlayStation games on PC for so long. Because as much as I took a similar sort of thing to you, I used to be such a console gamer. I used to be PS2, Xbox 360, but then I got a laptop that was capable of playing games, and I started doing that. I just started with a couple of old games like Half-Life and stuff.
Yeah, solid.
And then eventually I was like, I'll try a newer game, and like it worked. I remember playing Witcher 3 on a laptop, and I was like, this is cool.
Wait, you played Witcher 3 on a laptop?
Brother, yeah, it was a good laptop. It worked. relatively well, not like fantastically. But then I got my gaming PC, and then Witcher 3 on all of its max settings. Just
mind you, actually,
absolutely blew me away.
Saying that, how I wound up deciding I wanted to build my computer was I bought a laptop to do music stuff with. Yeah, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Had Steam anyway, just because it's what you do.
Yeah,
and worked out that I could actually play Metal Gear Solid 5 on that laptop. And it wasn't designed for gaming. It was nothing around any of that sort of stuff. But played Metal Gear Solid 5 on there, and then was like, oh, actually, yeah, I really do enjoy playing games still. So that's literally why I built a computer, because playing one game on my laptop made me remember that I enjoyed games.
Yeah. I mean, like, games anywhere is good, but PC is, to me, still the best place to play them. Because I mean, take like Cyberpunk for instance. If something launches and it's fucked and you're on console, that's kind of it. If you're on PC, there are ways to fix it.
Yeah,
you can like play around with things on your PC, or some modder can release a patch or something like that. There are multiple ways to get around it on PC. Console, you're just kind of stuck with what it is until the devs update it.
Yeah, modded fixes are just a absolute godsend. With some games, I think Skyrim in particular, like the special edition. Well, there wasn't too many issues when that came out, but it was
mostly just a physics thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, but there was a few issues, and the modders released a patch for the game before Bethesda did.
Yeah,
and I don't even think I'd updated it for quite a long time after. I mean, I'd already completed Skyrim anyway, so I wasn't overly interested.
Sure. Yeah,
or even Skyrim again, another good example. Like, the user interface for Skyrim was always horrendously bad. So modders just made a proper interface for us, and again, I can't play Skyrim without the I think it was called Sky UI.
Sure.
And it's just so much better. Everything reads better. Everything makes more sense. Yeah. Sony, bring all your games to PC so that we can get them modified to hell.
I mean, The Witcher 3 is also a very good example of this, because a lot of people hate the combat, and then I don't know who discovered it, but they were like, no, the combat's bad, but you can actually fix it in like all settings. I think only on PC, because obviously you get more settings on PC.
Yeah.
But you can fix so much of that game just in the game's menu settings.
Interesting.
Which you
I didn't
just
know.
can't do on like PlayStation and that. I haven't tried it because I haven't gone back to it since I found that out.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of curious. I want to see, because I didn't mind The Witcher's combat, to be fair. I thought it was alright.
It's a little bit clunky. I can understand why people might want to change it, but it is like really basic, and that is fine. For a very story-rich game, you don't need overly complicated combat mechanics.
No. And I mean, in fact, like, on PC, it's not overly complicated because you've got enough buttons to map it properly. But I played it on PC and then went round to see my brother, and he had it on PS4, and he couldn't get past the first boss, or the big eagle griffin thingy. So I was like, I'll give it here. I did this easy. Trying to play it on a PS4 controller. Oh boy, that was a mess. I was like, how, like, half the stuff isn't mapped. Like, what the hell?
I'm the worst.
It's so tricky.
I'm the worst kind of PC player. There's very few.
You play with a controller.
Yeah, there's very few games I play mouse and keyboard. Majority, I use Xbox controllers. So I've got a feeling that the reason why you guys were struggling to beat that boss or that griffin wasn't because it was with a controller and not a mouse and keyboard and button mapping. I think it's because it was a PS4 controller, which, in my opinion, is horrendously bad. I can't stand holding a PlayStation controller.
Mine was genuinely like, I couldn't figure out which buttons did what after just becoming so ingrained on playing it mouse and keyboard.
Yeah. I mean,
I was just sat there like, But I was genuinely, I was like looking at the controller, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm used to having to use all 10 digits to like do things.
So FPS games, I play mouse and keyboard, and that's for the accuracy of a mouse. Like, it's so much quicker, and you can get far better accuracy out of it. But yeah, otherwise, I really can't think of anything mouse and keyboard, unless like I have no choice.
Unless it's like a side scroller, like a what game was it? There was a game. No. There was a game I played recently that popped up and it told me to play with mouse and keyboard. With controller. Sorry, it might have been Little Nightmares, but I don't think it was. Can't remember, but it was a side scroller like that, and it popped up. Maybe even Cyber Shadow as well. I can't remember. But it literally told you that you should play with controller. I was like, fine.
You know what, actually? I was just thinking about this now because I was like sort of hunched in front of my mic a little bit. I think part of the reason that I still really gravitate towards controllers and playing games is mouse and keyboard, great, fantastic, really good accuracy. And if you set yourself up right, you're not really hunched or anything, but you're still not sat back and like, Snoop Dogg level chill. Yeah, you're like, you're still forced forwards in some way, and it's just nice. Like, to me, playing a game should be a bit more like that, where chill. And super competitive games, though. I guess you don't really want to be chill, but we all assume the game in position. It's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get. I mean, I'm capturing Death Stranding footage, and that is playing on the PS5. So most of the time, I've got like it's just recording. I switch over to the PlayStation. I just kick back and play.
Yeah,
like stick my feet on my desk. It's nice. It's cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You can't do that with a mouse and keyboard.
Stuff like that. Yeah, legs up, boy. Yeah. I'm in. I'm comfy. All right, let's play.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're just going back to the PlayStation and PC games, other than Demon's Souls, if you could get one PlayStation exclusive on PC, what would you go for?
Well, that is a hard one because I forget what's exclusive and what's not. So it's weird actually, because if you'd have asked me this, quite a few months back when I didn't have a PlayStation in the flat, there would have probably been quite a few games I could have reeled off straight away, like The Last of Us, The Last of Us 2, and it's sort of like anything along those lines. Or Final Fantasy 7 as well. That would have been like way up there.
We'll come to Final Fantasy 7 way later.
Oh boy, so I'm on it today with the foreshadowing.
You got the segues in that.
But just off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything else. Ghost of Tsushima, but then you've given. Have you? I think it was more Tom actually gave me pretty stale review of the game. Or was it you? Was it you?
Oh, I did. Tom? Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. Neither of us liked it. Me or Tom.
Okay, good. It was
we both didn't like it.
Yeah. That's why I was confused over which one of you it was, because it was both of you.
I know people that really like it though.
Yeah.
But I also know people that are like, it's a mediocre game.
Yeah.
I am one of those people. I don't think it was that great. I think the open world is very boring and dull. Yeah. It's pretty. Sure, it's pretty, and it's got a very, very cool camera photo mode, but it's very shallow. It's very hollow.
Yeah.
I thought. But you might dig it. Like, it might be a game you actually really like.
Yeah, true. Spider-Man Miles Morales. We've got that on.
That would be pretty.
We've got that on PS4, but obviously it's missing a few of the big elements of what you get out of the PS5 version of the game. So that'd be pretty sick. So I could bring that over onto my computer and play that. It'd look pretty cool. Or exclusives.
I would go Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah,
personally, because I think that it looks really, really cool. and like just being able to bump it up with like just to properly 4K, proper ray tracing and stuff like that. Granted, spoilers for later, they are doing that on the PS5, but
to be fair, I reckon that's going to get a PC release at some point anyway. Like,
I think so.
I can't
I
see.
think it is.
So the Windows edition of Final Fantasy 15, that came out after the original. I mean, it come out really badly on PC, but that come out quite a while after,
about a year or so after, wasn't it?
So
I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same, because they've announced some like additional stuff with Final Fantasy 7, so I wouldn't be surprised if we hear that it is gonna get a PC port around the same time.
Yeah,
because it's coming up for a year. It came out in. Did it come out? No, it wasn't February. I think it was March, April. It came out.
I don't ask me when it came out. I didn't have a PlayStation, so I didn't. I didn't pay attention to anything PlayStation.
I'm pretty sure it was April, because it was I think it was the first game, or maybe the second game I like fully got into during lockdown.
Yeah.
And I went hard on that. I did a day, 10th of April it came out, so it's coming up to a year.
Yeah.
I genuinely got like really, really close to the end. I was like, right, I'm pretty close, and I genuinely did like a 7 p.m. to like a 10 a.m. session. Because I was like, I could not put this down, kept going.
I still need to go back and keep playing it, actually. I've gotten to a point where I've been really, really enjoying it. I'm not very far. Like, I'm really not, but I've been, I spent ages playing darts in the pub because I was like, I'm going to make sure that I get it right. And for some reason, I really struggled with that mini game. When it's really not that complicated. It's not difficult. No. It's really not difficult. No. But yeah, for some reason it took me a while. But I'm just like really, really going through every single corner. I can't help myself but to like go. And I can almost guarantee to myself that there's going to be nothing over there. But I'm like, I'm just going to run all the way over there and like, click.
Oh yeah, just in case.
Yeah, I'm going to click X on this thing just in case something happens and it's hit.
Yeah.
It's like the Dark Souls problem of trying to find invisible walls.
Yeah, for sure. There are like things you can come across, stuff like that. Like you could fight whatever the cactus enemy is, but I never found him. I fought the weird little turtle dude. Looks like a little turtle without a shell.
What?
I can't remember
the weird little turtle dude.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called. It literally popped up once, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? I'm gonna kill it." And then you go up to it, and it just fucking one hit kills, and you're like, "Oh shit!" Killed me. Killed me.
I typed in.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I sorry, I totally forgot about them.
What are they called? Final 7.
Well, I typed in Final Fantasy 7 Turtle Dude, and he come up Tombury.
I've gone with Tombury. That's it. That was it. What's the cactus thing called?
Cactus.
It's literally just
Cactor.
Cactar.
Yeah.
Cactar. Yeah. Apparently, you can find and fight one of those, but I did not find it.
They're pretty much in every single game. So Tombury's about as well, and he's definitely in 8.
Sure.
And I remember him being in 10. But yeah, the cactar dudes, they just become like a stupid hard challenge in the end.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've never experienced one. I wanted to get into Final Fantasy for ages.
Yeah.
And 7 Remake was the perfect time to do it. So
I'll tell you what, one I think is like just really accessible to anyone, and it's weird because it doesn't make people's like, this is my favorite Final Fantasy game list very often, especially for how good it is. Because even me, I say my favorite Final Fantasy game is always Final Fantasy 8. But the one that I would recommend for most people to play is Final Fantasy 10.
Okay.
It's a really accessible story. It was just all around really, really well written and really well pieced together. And if you want extra content, then that game has got extra content. You can play it for hours upon hours, and it has its own version of Sports Ball. that you can play. You can make your own team.
Oh, is that the one underwater?
Oh yeah, it's horrendous. You will hate yourself if you play it. But
I know what you're about.
If you want to unlock all of the cool things, then you're gonna have to play hundreds and hundreds of games. I don't even want to go into how many hours you'll have to wind up spending in there, but
I'm sure I'll find out at some point. I'll probably make a video.
Yeah. Good game though. It is a really good game. So if the HD version ever pops up on Steam for cheap or on CD,
I think I've got it.
Well, if you got it,
there was a sale not too long ago.
Excuses for not installing it and playing it.
Yeah. Apart from the backlog of hundreds of other games,
nothing else
I
matters.
also haven't done that.
You don't understand.
I truly don't. There's been a couple of delays announced as well. So sticking with PlayStation again, Gran Turismo has been delayed to 2022. They've cited that it's due to COVID, which isn't surprising. You much of a racing fan?
Yeah,
racing game guy.
Yeah, I love racing games. Me and my mates used to sit there on Forza and
nice
just chat shit about our cars, about what we're using and that. Or we'd always do the we'd always do the Nürburgring, which is a massive racetrack. And for some reason we'd always just play that. We'd get really drunk one night, wake up in the morning, be really hungover, and just drive to Nürburg. And I have no idea why we used to do that so often, but we did. It happened more times.
I'd love like a Transformers racing game where you could half of it is racing, half of it's like fighting or something. Because I like racing games, but they don't hold my attention for very long.
They can get me. Like if it's a really good driving sim, then it'll I'll get properly.
The one that really got me once was it's not a racing game, it's a driving game, but it was American Truck Simulator.
Yeah.
Boy, I got hooked on that.
A lot of people got hooked on that, didn't they? Do you know?
Mate, yeah.
Have you ever heard of Limmy or Limmy Show?
Vaguely, yeah.
He's a Scottish dude. Fucking hilarious.
Okay.
He used to have a show called Limmy's Show, which is very funny. And if you're really bored and stuck for things to do, then watch Limmy's Show. It'll pass some time. But he streams games on Twitch these days. And he plays things like that, American Truck Simulator, and it just looks like he's just driving along. To be fair, it's the little stories he tells while he's doing it that sort of like gets me interested. But it looks like fun, I guess. I don't know. To me,
it's really weird.
If I'm not racing in a car game, then I don't know, it feels weird. Although I have been known to drive around in the Grand Theft Auto games, just following some form of made up speed limit in my head and abiding by the traffic lights. So
yeah. I don't know. I'm quite interested in what EA do with I forgot their name, Codemasters.
Yeah.
Because I'd love like a new Need for Speed with a really good story. I miss having racing games with like properly good stories.
Yeah.
Because stories are the things that keep me. It's what got me into gaming, with the stories that were being told. I don't know, I miss it. I struggle playing anything like FIFA or anything like that doesn't have a narrative of some kind to keep me going. I'll like dip in for an hour or so, but if there's no narrative that I'm interested in, it doesn't hold me.
So as far as like racing games go, Project Cars 2, I got really into that, but from a more competitive side. Like I actually got involved in like the online tournaments that they'd hold for races, and I wouldn't do well, mind, because here's me on my little Xbox controller racing against someone who's got like a full car rig set up and is like, I'm here to win this race. I'm driving the Nürburgring. We're doing it and I'm going to win. And then there's me with my little Xbox controller like, I wonder if I'll place. Nah, did I place? Nah, no, of course I didn't. But it was good fun. I did enjoy it. I did get like quite into it for a while.
Nice.
Gran Turismo was, I guess it was like the grandfather of of racing games. I had it on a demo disc originally on PlayStation.
Same.
Which then led to actually getting the game, swearing a lot as a child, hating myself as a child, and eventually getting the second one as a child as well.
Yeah, they're always fun, but they're always difficult to master.
Yeah.
Like they are properly, like especially these days, like with how granular you can go with everything to like the level of brakes and all the car things you can do.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm hoping that they do with it is at least do what Project Cars got rid of and allow you to change weather and stuff like that, and
sure,
have it actually affect your car, because that's something that racing games have been doing, but for some reason they've decided to go back to a more arcade, everybody friendly style. And I get it, money, yeah, trill, but I don't know, the realism of it is surely why you're playing that.
Yeah, I think if anyone's going to do it, it'll be Gran Turismo, maybe even like standard Forzas, not Forza Horizon.
Yeah.
I'd imagine those two will be like, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Gran Turismo that'll bring it back. So I always like that idea. I mean, I remember Need for Speed tried doing it for a while and it was cool, but then they just kind of didn't.
Well, Need for Speed's always had floaty, what I call it, floaty mechanics anyway. It's like the car never feels like it's actually on the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, Turismo.
Do you ever play? Did you ever play Juiced?
Juiced? No.
Yeah.
No, I remember Juiced.
You want floaty car games?
Yeah.
That game was pretty much sideways. It was all about going sideways.
So what? I was going to mention that. So Mario Kart, yeah, everyone's favorite racing game. It's really good to really start hating your friends on. There was a game that come out on 360, and I'm not sure if it come out on PlayStation 3. It probably did, but it was a racing game, like realistic air quotes looking cars and that, like comparatively with Mario Kart mechanics, and it was just a hell of a fun game to play. Like I sunk hours and hours and hours into that. Like you'd be driving along in these cars and you pick up like some rockets or something that you could launch into whoever's in front or behind you, get your speed boost and everything like you do in Mario Kart. And it was a really, really sick game. I'd like to see another one of those. Blur 2 come in 20 never. But I mean, it would be nice.
There's always been a bit of a want for Blur to come back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find what it is you're talking about, but
what's that, Blur?
Because it kind of rings a bell. Was Blur the game you're on about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it literally is Blur.
Nice. Yeah, Blur isn't one I played. There was a lot like that with was it Burnout Paradise that came back recently, where you're meant to cause wrecks and stuff like that. I like games that take like traditional formats like racing and stuff and kind of flip it on its head a bit. That's why I really like, even though I'm terrible at it, I really appreciate Rocket League, for instance.
Yeah.
Because it just does something interesting with two very old formats and mashes them together.
I'm horrendous at that game.
Like I said, same. Part of the reason I don't play online, I'm just awful, very, very bad. But yeah, no. The other delay that got announced was shock horror Cyberpunk. The second major patch has been delayed after that cyber attack from a couple of weeks ago. I don't know. It was, in a way, it was funny because a lot of people online were just like, "Well, it's almost the end of February. Where is that second patch? What's going on?"
So taboo word.
And it makes sense.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like they did have a lot of trouble with that cyber attack. They clearly had to deal with that. And it does give them a bit more time. And, COVID is still a thing. So
Yeah. Had enough of your excuses.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of just had enough of Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Like, until this popped up, I was kind of done. I was like, cool, whatever. I don't need to hear about this again until they're like, yeah, we fixed it. It's all good to go. Because you still can't buy it on PlayStation.
Oh, really?
It's still not on the PlayStation Store. I think I get the feeling that it's gonna get to a stage where they're like, cool, it's only gonna be on PS5.
Yeah,
you can't play it on PS4 because they can't fix it.
Yeah, to be honest, it's one of those things where I don't think I would want to get it on a PS4 anyway.
Yeah.
It was always cited as one of those like next gen sort of projects. So why would you want to? I know some money is obviously a factor. Not everyone can afford to get a brand new console or have a high end PC that can manage it. I mean, I don't think my PC would cope very well with Cyberpunk.
I mean, I've got a good PC and Cyberpunk's fucked on it. Like, it runs, but barely. Like, I had an FPS counter on at one point, and it was literally like single.
3 frames per
like,
second.
Legit. I think the peak I ever got was in like a menu. It went up to like 100, and I'm like, oh, cool. Come up menu, it just drops down to like 15, 20. I'm like, this is
just bonkers. Mental.
But like, it was really weird because combat and movement and stuff like that was still relatively okay. It was fine. It wasn't like, it didn't hinder the performance that much.
Yeah.
But then when shit did start hitting the fan, I was just like, oh, man, I just couldn't be bothered to fight it.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but
understandable.
Like I said, I think they should just do the Hello Games thing with No Man's Sky and just like shut up now. Just go dead silent and just work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come back and be like, it's fixed. It's ready to go. Which will probably be next year.
I ain't being funny. Like, there's been so much hype behind this game. Everyone's been so excited about it for such a long time that, it's shit that it's been like this. And it's like you say, if they just went quiet, they just fixed it. In a year's time, people will pick it up and people will play it. Yep. Not as many people as they'd hoped, but they've already made that money. So
yeah, they've already made a stupid amount off of it. Bonkers.
Just fix it. Come back later. This is like
100%.
Show your work in.
Yeah.
And I don't care to see that you're working. Just do it. Maths questions never made sense.
No, that's it. Like, there's very few people that actually care about updates. It's like, cool, you keep telling us stuff, but just tell us when it's fixed.
Yeah.
Just go quiet. It will go a lot quicker. Time will pass a lot quicker if there's no attention on it.
What they should do,
if we're constantly being like cyberpunk, it's going to feel like absolute years.
Yeah, what they should do is put a little checkbox next to the game in like all the stores, and when you put your disc in your console, it says, "Does it work?" If it's not checked, then you don't play it. And when CDPR eventually ticks that box, then you go, oh, all right, sick, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time. And
I mean that yeah. I mean, PlayStations, it will just be cool. You can actually buy it again now.
Yeah.
So you kind of get that.
Well, that's a good way to go about it. Actually, like completely ripping it off of the store was 100% the right way to go about that. So
yeah. Because I mean, they were just getting shitloads of refunds anyway, and it would have just continued. Yeah. But I think this does also add to the PC does it a bit better because it's got the minimum spec and it's got the, this is the absolute minimum you need to play. This is where it'll run fine. This is the absolute top god tier sort of levels. Yeah, but even then, like, the game just didn't work. It's not even a case of your system isn't good enough to run it. It's just the game isn't.
The thing is, you also can't refund it. Like, if you've gone over 2
True.
weeks hoping for a patch to fix it, Steam will not refund you. Yeah. It doesn't matter how broken a game is, because I've tried it before. In fact, actually, Final Fantasy 15 is a game I tried it with, because I got that as soon as it launched on PC, and it was an absolute shit show, and I was expecting it to get better, and I kept hold of the game, and after like 2 or 3 weeks, I submitted for a refund under the grounds of game is broken, does not work, and got a sorry, we cannot process your refund request.
I mean, to be fair, that's
2 week.
Steam has a better refund policy than PlayStation do.
Oh, really?
Because PlayStation is literally, you bought it, cool. Oh, you downloaded it. You're fucked then, mate.
Oh.
Literally, if you download the game, that's it. You're done.
To be fair, Steam...
You can't refund it except in circumstances like Cyberpunk.
Steam allows you to try the game for a little while at least.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours, isn't it?
Because refunding it within that 2-week time period, refunding it under the grounds of I don't like the game is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
Which I really feel like it should be, because if something's shit, then the developers should be allowed to know that it's shit and I want my money back.
Yeah, 100%. I think it is something that everyone needs to look at a bit more. I think I think Steam's is probably fine. Either 2 weeks or 2 hours or 3 hours of play. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Because how long do you need to know? And then it gets a bit tricky because depending on the length of the game as well. If it's a really short game and they're like, okay, you can play the first 5 hours. It's like, well, this game's only 3 hours long.
Yeah, true.
Refund it, so it does get a bit tricky. But I think refunds definitely need to be looked at, especially in the wake of Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Speaking of games that should have probably been refunded, I finally have a segue.
Hey, we're here.
Anthem Next has been killed. Anthem Next is no more. So Anthem Next was going to be the
next Anthem.
Can't remember
game.
what No Man's Sky called theirs, but yeah, it was going to be the fix. It was going to be making it what No Man's Sky is supposed to be today. But EA have just been like, nah, we're good. It's kind of a shame because I would have liked to have seen what they'd done.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it means they're going to focus more on Mass Effect and Dragon Age for that matter, but I only really care about Mass Effect, so I'm kind of fine with it. As much as it would have been cool for Anthem to be good, I'm not a big live service guy anyway, and I think the ship sailed. I think as much as you could fix it and make it good again, we've seen loads of examples of it not really making too much of a difference and few examples of it actually helping. Moving on, I think, is the best thing they can do.
Oh yeah, straight up. Sorry, I had to laugh a little bit there because you went like on my end, you went solid robot, and I was like trying my best because I could still make out what you were saying.
I did see your signal dip. It went in red, and I was like, "Oh god, he's gonna go."
But wait, that's odd actually, because for me on my side, it was you who dipped.
Oh, right.
Yeah, super weird. But yeah, you just went solid robot. My bad.
It's like I put the Iron Man outfit on.
Yeah.
I put my Anthem suit on.
Oh dear.
Did you ever dabble in Anthem? Were you ever interested in Anthem? I certainly wasn't.
No. So there's two big letters that typically make me stay away from games. And a lot of other things, even if I walk into a place that has those two letters in it, I'm just not comfortable. It could be in any order. It could be an A&E. I'm always quite uncomfortable when I'm in an A&E. But yeah, I did EA, man. I mean, yeah. And Anthem is not really my sort of game anyway.
No, it's such a shame because there's a lot in there that sounds like it was good. Like the flying mechanics and stuff like that were cool, even though you could only fly for like 30 seconds, which is stupid.
Yeah, but that's like a balancing thing, though, isn't it?
For sure. They just needed to find a better way of doing it.
Yeah.
Like, find more interesting reasons you can't fly anymore to, these are supposed to be super high-tech Iron Man style suits, but even more futuristic.
Yeah.
Why would you only be able to fly for 30 seconds?
True.
But I'm not really sad about this. It would have been interesting to see what they had done to make it better, to fix whatever, but
yeah,
meh. If it means Mass Effect's going to be that bit more shiny and Dragon Age is maybe going to come out a bit sooner, then cool.
Yeah.
I'd much rather those two than whatever Anthem was going to be.
Yeah. I mean, in more good EA news, I'm also glad that this is old news as well. I just want to bring it up. I'm glad that they aren't the sole Star Wars game company anymore.
Yes.
Because they can, even though that last one was really good, Fallen Jedi, great game, but yeah, EA can just do one. That's all I've got to say about them, really. Like, I can't think of anything good to say about EA.
No, I mean, like my favorite game that they've launched in the last 5-10 years was Titanfall 2, and they sent it out to die in between their own other game, Battlefield, and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like, it's genuinely one of the best first-person shooters of the last decade, and they just been like, yeah, okay, you go die now. And then Respawn makes some shitloads of money with Apex Legends and Jedi. Like, now we're never going to get a new Titanfall game in it. It hurts.
Yeah.
Love Titanfall 2.
To be fair, I mean, they're more than happy to kill their franchises, because Dead Space, I loved the Dead Space games.
Oh, man.
And look how far that went.
Yeah.
So, or fell, I should say.
Yeah.
Dead Space 1, Dead Space 2, absolutely amazing games. Dead Space 3, absolute pile of shit. And where did it go after that? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.
No, I mean, thankfully we've got the creator of Dead Space moving over with PUBG Core, I think they're called, or Corp, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And he's making Callisto Protocol.
Yeah. So I saw that.
It's
actually
basically Dead Space.
He's super interesting. There's a really interesting documentary of the creating of the Dead Space games that you can you can get on YouTube. It's just him talking about it a little bit. It's not a solid documentary, I don't think. Like, they were just asking questions, but
just more of an interview.
Yeah, how he come up with his design concepts, and everyone always says, "Oh, it's basically Resident Evil in space," and the thing is, it's perfect because he literally says, "Yeah, when I was drafting the game idea to my team, it was, I want to make Resident Evil in space." so if any man ever achieved what he set out to achieve, it was him.
Yeah. That damn near perfectly as well. I like it's the little things about it as well, like
stomping on heads.
Targeting limbs being really, really important.
Yeah. Actual gameplay mechanics.
Even the HUD.
Yeah,
I love the way the HUD's integrated into the suit.
More games so need clever. To do that. Like that was just
absolutely
cool.
Yeah, they just need to find new and clever ways. Not even new, because that's got to be almost 10 years now. Yeah.
The thing is, it keeps you completely immersed because everything's available. Like, your ammo count comes up when you lift your gun up, and you see how many bullets you have left in the hologram that's coming out of the gun. Makes complete sci-fi sense.
And it works with his character as well, because it's not even a gun; it's a tool.
Yeah.
It's like it's a saw of some kind.
That's literally what it was called, wasn't it? The plasma cutter.
Yeah. He's an engineer. That's
yeah,
man.
Yeah. I mean, could talk about that game for a very long time. Maybe we should do a
absolutely
do a podcast based just on that game or both of those games.
Maybe eventually we'll, if we can ever actually hang out and chill, maybe we'll do like a playthrough of it or something.
Yeah, any day. Well, not any day, because I'm not allowed to yet at the moment.
Someday,
yeah.
Someday. So for our final topic, we'll go. We had the PlayStation State of Play yesterday. It was very short. It was only like half an hour long.
Oh, I could have watched it then.
Yeah, you could have, but you didn't need to. Really.
More disappointment then, yeah?
Yeah, it's not on the same level as the Nintendo thing, because there is way more here that is coming out. And I've just noticed I put Returnal as referral.
And now it's Returnal.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'm trying to fix it, but I'm not even going to bother.
No, to be fair, I'm just watching you struggle, and it's great.
I'm trying to talk and remember how to spell Returnal at the same time, and it's not working.
Well, at the moment, we've got
not working at all.
Returnal. Which I appreciate that name. I like that name a lot.
They should change it to that. I'm gonna copyright that and make me some money somehow. I'm gonna make some kind of Chinese port.
Yeah, no, just make a knockoff version of it. It's fine.
Absolutely.
That'll only take a minute.
Yeah, I will.
Like a budget version, a cereal box version. Remember when you used to get games in cereal boxes?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. That was great. I remember getting a game called Lucky Luke. It was a cowboy game.
Everyone always used to say that they had viruses on them, though, didn't they? So it's got a virus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember hearing that a lot anyway. Like, well, I doubt it has a virus, but I didn't have a computer that could play it at the time anyway, so...
Oh, no, none of the ones I had did.
Cowboy Luke.
This is how important and good, really, the state of play was that we're talking about 20 to 30-year-old
cereal box games.
Yeah, cereal box games. We started out with Crash Bandicoot 4, which is a game that's already out. They already announced the port for PS5 and Xbox One, Xbox Series X.
So they did learn from Nintendo then. Just tell us things we already know.
Yeah. I didn't need this. I thought because there was a tease of some other stuff coming, because I think Crash has got an anniversary this year as well. I thought maybe we were going to get something. Maybe there was going to be like some DLC or additional characters or something. Nah, they just put picture to all the stuff we already knew about.
And
I'm going to try and say it the way I wrote it. The Renernal. We got another Returnal. It was part. It wasn't really part demo. Actually, it was just a trailer with some gameplay elements. This one was way better. It looks really cool. I'm really, really excited for Returnal. Have you seen Returnal at all, Jake?
I have not, so I should.
I highly recommend it. Check it. It looks dope. It's taking elements from like indie 2D side-scrolly type games like.
Oh no! Wait, yeah, I have seen things for this. So it's good to be able to Google things.
Yes.
Yeah. No. I remember this. I remember it's. Did they in the big games trailers all last year? They had something for this, didn't they? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That was me really fumbling over what things were called.
Incredible. I'm so excited for this. It's mixing like bullet hell and kind of roguelike together in outside of a 2D game. It's in a 3D game and it looks incredible. I'm so excited to. The last time they showed it was a bit long in the tooth, and then there was that was a different one. Sorry, the last time they showed it really annoyed me because it was at another PlayStation thing, obviously it being an exclusive, and they made it so the opening to it is you were walking up a corridor in first person and you were going up to this door, and I was like, oh my god, it's Silent Hills.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah, okay. I do remember that.
Was not Silent Hills, and I was kind of bummed out by that. But this trailer was really, really cool. I'm really excited for this. Again, even though it's a game we already knew about, we already knew it's coming. It's coming in April. Super excited.
Yeah,
thought it was a really good trailer. Knockout City looks like a pile of crap. It just looks crap. It looks like. What they're just trying. I can't remember. Is this an EA game as well? I can't remember. But this was at the
this is on
the Nintendo
Steam
thing last week. What was that?
Knockout City's on Steam as well. It is EA.
It is. Yeah. It looks terrible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got my opinion on it already. I don't think I need to say anything.
Yeah. It's. For those who don't know, it's like Overwatch with Fortnite graphics, but it's dodgeball. And from the looks of it, it's auto aim as well, so there's no real skill involved. So it just looks bad.
Yeah, it just sounds ridiculous.
Just looks bad, and it doesn't look interesting in any way. It just looks like it's just so manufactured. It's just taking cool people like this art style and this kind of gameplay. We're going to put it together with this. It just looks so uninspired. It's so boring and dull. Conversely, though, I highly recommend you look at. I'm going to say Sifu.
Right.
I don't actually know how to pronounce it.
I'd probably say Sifu as well.
Sifu. That Sifu looks incredible.
I mean, it looks cool even just from the little pictures I've just googled up. So
it's quoted as being an authentic kung fu action game with a unique twist on dying. I didn't know that, so I'm really interested in that. The art style is awesome.
Yeah, it looks sick.
The second it's like popped up, I was like, this
That's
looks
like
dope.
a weird mixture of like anime art style, because I'm looking at a picture of like his hair, and that's like very anime-esque drawn, and then his face is like, I don't even know.
It looks like modern Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
Like if they made Samurai, well, I mean they did kind of make Samurai Jack recently, but it's got kind of Samurai Jack with kind of like it looks hand drawn to a degree.
Yeah.
It's got like not quite cell shading. I don't think it's quite shading. Cell shading. That's hard to say. But it does have that anime hand drawn aesthetic, and it just looks really cool. It was genuinely the highlight for me because it just looks so different and stood out from everything else that was shown. It looks incredible. Oh man, I'm really excited to see more of this.
I'm gonna have to watch the trailer for that one, definitely.
Highly recommend it.
That's a new announcement, isn't it? That's not something that's been announced.
That is new. Yeah. That is one new game.
Hey,
Knockout City is kind of new as well, but we got shown that last week at Nintendo, so not new. We got another look at Solar Ash, which is by the guys that did Hyper Light Drifter, which is a very well-renowned game. A lot of people love that. I'm still yet to play it, but it looks incredible. It looks really, really cool. Again, really cool art style, really cool. The traversal looks incredible.
Yeah, that looks pretty nuts.
It looks
actually
so slick. I believe we got a release date, if I remember correctly. I think we got a release date, so it was kind of worthwhile, but it was.
I really love that.
Another
art style,
game,
actually. Like just looking
dude,
at it.
It is so pretty. It is beautiful. It is such a cool looking game.
It's weird though, because this is the sort of game I'd pass up and I wouldn't wind up playing. I can tell you that now. Like I really love the art style. Celeste, I really love the art style of Celestia, and I think it looks really, really cool. And the whole thing looks interesting. Even the soundtrack to Celeste, the soundtrack is amazing.
Dude, yeah.
Haven't played the game and won't ever play the game.
Oh, you will. I'll make you play it. I've got it on Switch. I will make you play it because damn, Celeste is such a good game. Even if you only play it for an hour. Celeste is great. But the Solar Ash looks incredible, but it is a game we already knew about. Granted, we did get a launch date, I believe.
Tomorrow.
Did we get a launch date?
You heard it here first. Coming out tomorrow.
Did we get a launch date? No, we didn't. To be confirmed. No launch date. Oh well. We then got Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. We got a better look at that, which again, not a new game, but we did get more of an idea of how it plays. I personally wanted it to be like a BioShock style game set in that game's world, because I think the world is really interesting. I don't think the games up until this point have been.
Yeah.
Not my style at all.
I just think,
but it's not a BioShock style.
I just think it should die. I've not even played.
It kind of has. So it kind of has. So like it's not quite a reboot, but it's kind of a divergence from what it was, and it's kind of leaving what it was behind and becoming something else. So in a way, it has died. And there was a really cool thing that the creator's doing. He's working with some small devs that have made like kind of honorable, like games that honor that the kind of idea behind Five Nights at Freddy's, and kind of play it like their own versions of it.
Oh, okay.
Sort of thing. And he's teaming with them to make other games in that world as well. So hopefully they do continue to keep doing interesting things. But Security Breach looks more like Alien Isolation set in the FNAF world, which could be cool. The gameplay that they showed off didn't look smooth. Really, it looked very.
Oh dear.
it looked how you expect Five Nights at Freddy's would if you could move around a bit more.
Yeah.
Didn't look great, but I'm really only interested in this to watch like the game theory videos afterwards.
Oh yeah. Like, to be fair, all of my
the game
FNAF
is less interesting.
knowledge comes from game theory.
Same. He makes it so more entertaining than
To be
the
fair,
games
he does
actually
that
are.
to a lot of games.
For sure.
Let's be real.
For sure it does. There, like Hello Neighbor was one. I played Hello Neighbor because he never actually finished the theories on it, and I was like, well, I want to know what happens.
Yeah.
And Hello Neighbor is not a fun game if that's why you're playing it.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, FNAF, done.
I don't blame you.
Done with FNAF.
Yeah, no, Security Breach, like, it could be cool. It could be like an interesting way to take the series forward, and it could be it could be a fun horror game, but
not for me.
No, it's probably not for me. I'll probably just watch
your next
videos
one on the
about it.
list is far more interesting.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy that someone else actually is into Oddworld Soulstorm. Granted, while I was watching this, I was like, I don't need another trailer for this. Really didn't.
But enjoyed it anyway?
It paid off in the end because they actually gave us a release date, and it's pretty soon.
Wait, what?
They
April
did.
6th is that?
So,
on PS4 and PS5?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. I am very excited. I love the Oddworld games. I wasn't a huge fan of New and Tasty, which is a remake of the original, and this is a remake of the second game.
Yeah.
Because I think New and Tasty made it a bit too bright and a bit like...
It just felt a bit weird.
Yeah, they changed all of the like the audio effects and all the sound effects and stuff like that. So it didn't sound like
How dare they?
I know.
But I can't believe that actually. But just reading that PS4 and PS5. And that's like just over a month away. So I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I'm not surprised because they've been showing this game off for like 5-6 years now. So I'm really happy that this is coming because it's the way I want remakes to be done, the way that this is doing it, the way that Final Fantasy VII is doing it, is they're making, they're adding to it as well. It's not literally just like taking a game, making it look pretty. Same way Resident Evil did it as well, really. They are adding to it and changing things to modernize it and make it...
removing things that never needed to be removed.
Yeah.
I see you, Resi Free.
Yeah. Pray for Resident Evil 4. Have you seen Kenna at all?
No.
Because, dude, look at Kenna.
Is that another
artsy... I saw it on the Epic's Game Store today while I was downloading the free game that's available. And it's literally like 30 quid.
Ooh.
But, oh boy, is that a pretty looking game.
Yeah, mate.
Dude, I'm very much looking forward to that, and that's pretty soon as well, I believe. It is such a pretty looking game.
Is this an exclusive?
Yes.
Damn.
PlayStation 4, PS5, Windows, so PC.
Oh, it is on PC.
It's when did the August is coming out. It was meant to be March, but it got delayed.
That's fine. Delay it. It looks sick. Delay it.
So while we were watching this yesterday, I was watching with the Game Fall guys and a couple of other people. I can't remember who it was that said it, but we were like, "This is what I want Zelda to look like." And I was like,
"Yeah,
yes.
yeah."
I want, because going back and looking at all the trailers for this, it is very, very inspired by Zelda from the looks of it. It's very...
Mate, I got that feeling the second I looked at the pictures.
I've just remembered something.
Uh-oh.
I think I might have brought it up last week, but do you remember the Majora's Mask short animation?
Yes. Oh my god, yeah, okay. Yeah.
You remember that, yeah? You remember I said the guy that made that went in to make video games?
Is this what he made?
I'm pretty sure this is it.
Yeah, no, that would make total sense. Like, this, because just looking at this, I'm just looking at her sort of like sat on a rock with some of these little things.
Yes.
I'm gonna guess they're Kenners. Either she's Kenner or they're Kenner.
I think she's Kenner. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
though.
I mean they can be
Kenner.
be digital deluxe.
Story follows Kenner, a young spirit guide. This looks like what I want Zelda to be like, because the guy that made that Zelda short or the Majora's Mask short specifically, is working on this game, and that's made me even more excited for this. I feel like it's going to be quite a short game, because it is only like £30. It's not a full price game. It is
as long as I can play
pricing.
30 hours of it, and if that requires multiple playthroughs, but it still hits 30 hours, then it's worth my £30.
100%. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to that. But again, it is one we have seen before, but it is something I'm looking forward to.
For free,
we do have a release date.
I haven't seen it before, so I'm currently just sitting at it, just being like, "No, this is going to be sick. It better not be bad. If this is bad, I'm going to be super disappointed."
If it is just pretty, same.
Wait, who's the publisher or the developer?
The publisher is Ember Lab. Same people that are actually developing it. So it's self-published.
Okay.
That is interesting. They partnered with Sony, so it is going to be PlayStation exclusive. So it might eventually come to like Xbox and other places, but it's going to be on PC as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
we don't care about Xbox. Xbox is dead. This is the first generation that I've ever really felt like that term is just true, because games for Windows, Xbox is dead.
Yeah, I mean, that is something we talk about on the last episode of the Game for All podcast. We go into that a bit with Mike Channel from Outside Xbox, and we kind of discuss where Xbox is and what we think. And it is basically we're still waiting, and we have been waiting for such a long time. And they keep promising games, and they keep promising good games, but we're still waiting. They haven't had that knockout. Like, Gears is very good. That's about it, really. Like, Medium came out, and I don't like the Medium. I think it's a mediocre game. It looks pretty. That's about it. Otherwise, they don't really have a lot.
No.
They've got Flight Simulator coming to get like actual Xboxes soon. If it's not, I don't think.
Is that even going to run on an Xbox?
New Xboxes, it sounds like it will.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I guess.
We'll see. But hopefully we'll hear something about Xbox next week, going on how this is going. We had Nintendo last week, PlayStation this week. Hopefully Xbox pop up and we're going to show you some games next week.
That would be good.
That'd be a
maybe
fun
some Stadia the week after, or Stadia. Sorry, I felt like I needed.
Why don't we just get Sega back at it?
Sega, Dreamcast, mate. Come on, be real.
Yeah, just just make a. What do you even call a new Sega console? I don't know. Anywho's, we had two more games to look at. We had another look at Deathloop, which is fine. It looks cool. It's got the cool 60s, 70s aesthetic. I think 60s. Oh yeah, aesthetic.
I remember. Yeah.
And it looks like an arcade game. It looks like it plays like Dishonored does. It looks cool.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Super.
This was a much better trailer than last time, because, man, did you see the trailer last time at all? It felt like it went on for an hour.
Well, a lot of those trailers did actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I say, I was super disinterested in this. It doesn't really look like my sort of game. So, which unfortunately the Dishonored game was also like that. So,
okay. I quite like.
The thing is, I loved Thief, the original Thief game. Sure. So I probably realistically should have got into Dishonored, but I guess I changed.
Yeah, I mean, Thief was of its time. They tried to redo it, and then it didn't work out too well. I don't know. Deathloop's grown on me. I wasn't that interested when I first saw it, and then this is the one they showed yesterday was easily the best look at the game we've had. It looked far more interesting to me this time, so I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Finally, we got. It wasn't a bad reveal by any stretch. We're getting Final Fantasy VII on PS5, so we're getting ray tracing, upgraded visuals, so there won't be JPEGs for a lot of the background, because that was pretty hilarious to me.
It's very Final Fantasy though. Like, it's a Final Fantasy to me. You have this thing where it's like, some stunning, really amazing visuals, and then you have this really trash world that you're traveling around in.
Yeah. I mean, the character models were incredible. It's just
absolutely insane, man. And to be fair, seeing it in ray tracing and it's just going to be amazing.
Yeah. That wasn't all though. They also confirmed that the PS5 upgrade is free if you're in Final Fantasy VII, nice. Which I do. I'm so very excited to play it again. I've wanted I didn't even need really a reason to go back. I just needed that little push.
Yeah.
To like really push me into it, because I've wanted to. I wanted to do the hard mode. I wanted to get platinum on it. But they're also bringing. They're fully Kingdom Hearts in Final Fantasy VII. So they're coming out with. I thought it was called Integrate, but it's not. It's called Intergrade. I don't actually know what that means. I don't know if that's a Final Fantasy VII thing.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that is.
It is probably just a silly Kingdom Hearts style title for it. But it's an expansion. It's DLC. It's like an extra story bit, where you play as Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII. Which cool. I've my extent of Final Fantasy VII is getting as far as where the remake went. I got to a bit further than that. I saw a bit of Sephiroth's backstory, and then I was like, oh, do I want to keep playing, or do I want to wait and then play it some more whenever the second part comes out and then go in fresh? Because I really think the Final Fantasy VII remake is a sequel to Final Fantasy VII, not a remake.
Yeah.
But if I'm wrong, then I'll kind of want to see the story as they're telling it now.
There's a lot of things that could lead towards that theory being a thing, certainly. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know whether it actually is, or whether they're just trying to give it a bit of a more fancier art style or whatever, artistic direction.
Yeah, I mean, it was more like some of the story beats and some of the way that Aerith says some things and the way Sephiroth says some things. It's like it's kind of like they know what's going on. It's like they've done this already, sort of thing.
Oh mate, no. To be honest, I'm kind of with you on it, and I also kind of want it to be that. Like, I think, and again, that's such a good way to redirect a remake of a game.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, look, here's all the stuff you really loved. You really enjoyed doing all of this, and we've upgraded all the visuals. We've really done our best here, and also here's some more story, because actually this is Final Fantasy VII Part 2.
There was also 2 mobile tie-in games that were announced, but they're mobile tie-in games, so I didn't really look too deep into those. One is set, I think it was like 20 years before Final Fantasy VII, maybe 30 years. I don't know about the other one. So there is going to be a bunch of tie-in stuff, but it does feel very, very Kingdom Hearts. I'm down with it. It sounds like the Yuffie stuff is only going to be available on PS5, however, because at the end of the trailer for it, it comes up saying once you've upgraded to PS5 version, the Yuffie or Integrate is available for purchase.
Yeah, that's a shame.
So it's a bit odd, but I don't know, I kind of get it. It also makes me think that this really isn't coming to Xbox, because we've heard nothing about it coming to Xbox at all. The only things we've seen is the PlayStation 5s. And with a game this big, you would have thought you would have heard something, because originally I think it was originally meant to be 6 months, and they were like, oh no, maybe it's a year exclusive. but it's not even come to PC. Like, maybe it doesn't come to Xbox, because Final Fantasy 16 is at very least a timed exclusive to PlayStation as well. So maybe PlayStation just has this one tied up.
I mean, Sony's clearly got their hands in Square's pockets at the moment, and no, Square's got their hands in Sony's pockets is probably the better way to put that. It's like, you give us your money, and you have.
They've got hands in each other's pockets.
Yeah. I mean, again, Xbox is kind of dead. It's like you say. Hopefully, Xbox will do something next week. I don't hold much hope for that.
No, I don't think it will. I just think it'd be a nice
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Nintendo, PlayStation, and then Xbox.
It'd just be nice for Xbox to do something.
Yeah, I'm a bit burnt on Xbox because there just hasn't been anything new. And granted, like, Halo got delayed because it was a mess, but
it's like I say, I just think it's dead. I just think Xbox is pretty redundant now. Microsoft certainly should just focus on the PC side of gaming. But I guess it is a cash cow. You sell a console.
Yeah, I mean, Game Pass is really, really good. Game Pass is a great thing. But it doesn't have its like smash hit that makes you need to subscribe to it. It is more the Netflix. It is more the, you can waste time playing a bunch of fun games or interesting games. But they are kind of missing that killer app at the moment. They don't have that one game or that one thing that's really pushing them for me. Anyway, I know there are a lot of people that are huge Xbox fans over PlayStation for numerous reasons. I think the controller's cool, but otherwise, there's.
I don't.
I don't have an Xbox Series X because I don't have a reason to.
I take the Xbox controller over PlayStation, your Stadia controller or the Steam controller any day.
Of course,
but it's just Xbox. They don't deserve it. That's one way to word it. Xbox don't deserve it. Bring Final Fantasy straight to computer because I deserve it.
That'd be cool. I'd like it on PC as well. That would look so pretty. But I gotta say, other than the Final Fantasy 7 DLC and Sifu or Sifu, this was all old. It was all old news. Granted, some things we did get new looks and some things we got release dates for, but it's the second gaming show in 2 weeks that has all been like, cool, it's the same stuff. Granted, this is better than Nintendo's one because it's not 20-year-old games and 10-year-old games. It is all either stuff like Crash and Final Fantasy 7 that get imports to PS5 and PC, or it's stuff that is coming fairly soon.
Yeah.
And they are all more interesting looking. But if it wasn't for the fact that it was concise, we did get some pretty good trailers for stuff like Kenna, Returnal, and stuff like that. It's still kind of... It feels like we're really missing something. It makes me worry for... I don't think God of War 2 is coming this year, or Ragnarok, or whatever they're going to end up calling. With Gran Turismo getting delayed, I do worry that maybe Horizon gets delayed as well. So maybe we don't actually have that coming in. I think they wanted it around September, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's fine. They can delay that game. I've not played it. It looks really good. But again, just on the back of like what we've said about delayed games, delay it, do it properly.
Yeah. So I think they've got some interesting games to see them through. Stuff like Returnal, for instance, looks super interesting.
Returnal does seem fairly good.
The more I think about it, the more I think it might actually be the highlight for me because we actually got to see what the game is. Whereas Sifu was more the highlight because it was just like striking. It was very, very unique among like the other things we saw. New. Very much looking forward to Returnal. that's about it, really. Like I said, it's been a bit of a slow week, game news and gaming wise. Like I said, there is some Pokemon stuff coming today, but we're not exactly the biggest Pokemon fans here. But yeah, another show, it was fine. It was meh.
Another wasted half hour.
Nothing. Yeah, at least it was half an hour, not an hour this time. Yeah. But hey ho. But yeah, I think that will about do us for today. We'll end on another disappointing presentation. Not disappointing, that's harsh.
I'm disappointed and I didn't watch it.
I highly recommend, after this, I highly recommend you check out the trailers for Kenna, Sifu, and the new Returnal. Or Vernern. They were really good. Really, really good. But yeah, that will about do us for episode 2 of the Sleep Game podcast. As always, let us know what you think down below. Are you happy with any of these announcements? I mean, they weren't really announcements. Really, they were just kind of updates, but you get what I mean. If you like this, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. If you got any questions, concerns, anything like that, send them over to esgvids@gmail.com, and we'll go through those. And who knows, you might make a topic for us to talk about, because I feel like it's going to be a bit slow gaming wise or news wise for a hot minute.
I mean, I think we've
kind of peaked.
I can always send us on tangents. I got tangents for days.
Me too, bro. Me too. Maybe we'll just talk about Dead Space next week. I
mean, let's see what happens. If Xbox does an announce thing, then we'll talk about Dead Space.
I am very, very aware we don't talk about Xbox a lot, but it's because they haven't had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. They're doing some really cool stuff with accessibility, but otherwise, not a lot at the minute. But their time will come, I'm sure. But yeah, thanks for listening once again. We will talk to you next week.